Because today is my last day of quarantine. So I'm gonna answer some questions while doing my skincare routine. So let's go. So I'm using the MTM Custom Blended Cleansing Mask. It's just place I go for facials with my mom. And usually I use other ones as well, but this one is especially good when I've got pimples, especially red ones. It just takes the redness out. They're insane right now. I've never gotten this many pimples since I was in grade 8, I think. And yeah, I'm gonna show you my other cleansing mask. It's the INNISFREE Volcanic something. I usually use this one. I usually use like clay masks. The Kiehl's cleansing mask, deep cleanse clay mask is especially magical, but I finished that one and I didn't get new ones. I asked on Instagram and a couple of my friends whether they have some questions for me in quarantine or just in general about the situation. So they asked me some questions and I'm gonna answer them because it's my last day of confinement and it's been a very strange but also lifelong experience, I'd say. I think it will be a very special time for everybody in their entire lives, no matter if it's those who lost their families or those who have been stuck at home. But I think that it will be a very, very memorable time for all of us. Anyway, first question is, which quarantine is going better, Switzerland or China? Switzerland when there was merely, I believe, 800 cases, and now I've seen numbers there are nearly 9,000 cases. And in China, obviously, it's the first epicenter of the entire world when it broke out. And the official number says that there are 80,000 people infected, but obviously there are going to be a lot more than that. This virus could go under-detect for such a long time, and when people actually get infected, they wouldn't know. And then they go around and infect other people, so it's impossible to trace. The only reason why China is able to trace it right now is because it's on harsh lockdown for 2 months, I believe. Otherwise, the government has limited public spaces for people to go out to and just transport in general. So since China is very good at tracing things, as there's not a lot of privacy here, it is obviously going to be better at doing this, at containing it. But the problem is that when you're efficient, that means only the head, aka the government, the central government, makes the decision. So there could be a lot of minority overlooked, but at the same time, they're saying that it's for the better of the entire nation, and it's always been like this. So, in short, I'd say China's pretty efficient, but there are lots of problems, and I'm definitely not on anyone's side. I'm not a politics gal, so I'm just gonna leave it there. How do you feel about new exams and online lessons? Well, I just had the exam yesterday. It was supposed to be our midterm, and I fucked it up because there was not enough time. And then there was such a big drama inside our class group chat and I just couldn't take it. With online lessons, I'd say that it's working for me as long as you take the responsibility yourself as a student to listen in class in that 1 hour and a half and you study afterwards. I don't think that we have a problem. I'm just a little bit worried about the money, but that's it. Next question, how much longer do you think quarantine is going to last? Well, it depends on the country, I'd say. For China, right now, most cities has basically regulated that if you've come back from a foreign country, because the regulation keeps changing. Before, when I came back, it was basically if you came from the more contaminated places, there were 14 countries, I think, you have to be under quarantine for 14 days. But now the rule is that no matter where you come back from, you have to get quarantined for 14 days. But in Shanghai, it's only 14 days, and after you could go out. But you still have to wear masks in public spaces. In terms of Europe, I believe that it's going to last a lot longer than expected. For Italy, I think they say quarantine ends on the 3rd of April, but I think it's gonna, sorry to break it to you, my Italian friends, but it's not gonna just take this much time. Statistically, it's still not stopping. So I'd say it's gonna take at least 2 more weeks of quarantine because the incubation period is that long. But otherwise, for different countries, for the US, as it just started really breaking out, it's probably gonna take even longer. My friend Victoria, she has asked me some questions on quarantine and some really random questions. Should Crocs be allowed to exist? What type of question? I'd say yes. I feel like if it's me wearing Crocs and if it's Kendall Jenner wearing Crocs, there is definitely a difference. But yeah, that's my answer. But I want a peaceful world, so I don't discriminate based on how people dress. I try at least. And is, why do you make videos? For me, I've always liked creating creative content. I mean, I started just doing dance and then filming dance videos, and I've always really enjoyed editing. After I started making some travel vlogs and just short films that I felt like basically a montage of things. And right now, especially in quarantine, I think it's a really good way to keep this memory, because I did make some YouTube videos when I was in middle school, but I deleted most of them because I was quite embarrassed at one point. But now I think of it, I wish I left more videos on the channel because, you know, it's a step of growth. You see how you grow as a person, and I think it's really fascinating, and there's no other way you could go back or no other way you can remember how you thought about things back then. Plus, I'm super fucking bored. The positive thing that you have gotten out of this quarantine. This is a very difficult question. In general, just the small things that make you happy. I think it's honestly sad because we're so busy, we're so in our mind sometimes that we really ignore things that we should be grateful of. I think that I'm grateful that I'm alive because there are so many people out there. There are doctors, there are patients, people in pain, families in pain. Again, nobody wanted this, and right now we're in the same time, but we're experiencing such different things. So again, I want to stress, when you could choose whether to stay in or not, I could stay in without a problem. But these 2 weeks did pass really fast, not gonna lie. Obviously, it's important to keep yourself occupied, and I know it's because I have that 14 days limit. So for me, it's probably a lot easier than people who don't know how long it's gonna last, but it is going to end. Fighting! That was the end of my Q&A and my night skincare routine. I hope you enjoyed it. Still, it is a very special time at the moment. I hope every single one of you who watch this stay safe, spreading positive energy to you, and